Drive Safe Dave here along with Buckle Up Bob.
Good morning.
How are you doing today, Bob?
You know, I'm doing wonderful, Dave. I'm telling you what, the TV, I was glued to it all weekend. There was so much excitement this weekend.
What was so exciting about the TV this weekend? I know you can't wait to tell everybody what transpired this weekend. What was it?
USA! USA! Boy,
Yeah.
the Young Guns, youngest Ryder Cup team in history, set a record with 19 wins, largest margin of defeat. Man, it was exciting.
Record-setting Ryder Cup, a lot of fun. Went out and did the impossible. Came in and it's been a while, right? I think it's been since what, 2016?
16.
Yeah, came in and beat the Europeans. Did it on our home soil in Wisconsin.
Yes.
You know, and made it look good. Made it look a little easy. They made some. They made some great shots.
Yes, they did.
I mean, it wasn't just because the other team was playing bad.
No.
There were some shots in there on the green on a par 4 and one shot, and then an eagle for 20-footer. I mean, there were some amazing shots.
Oh, there
going
was.
on.
Jordan Spieth on 17th on Saturday he's standing like this, hits the ball almost straight up. And then it comes down and still left it short of the hole. And then he lost his balance and ran all the way down to Lake Michigan and got to stop right before it because the slope was so steep. You know, but what an amazing shot. I don't know how you can imagine getting that ball on the green from where it was in the stance he had. But yes.
That's why they're professionals, right?
Well, not only that, but a lot of the pros or whatever, the announcers questioned, one of the captain's pick has never won a tournament. Scotty Scheffler from Texas boy, right? What does he do yesterday? Goes out and knocks off the number one player in the world, John Rahm, who hadn't lost. I mean, it was just the USA. It was exciting.
It was all over the news yesterday. I don't know if you saw this, Bob. It was on the news. There was a fire over at Texas Motor Speedway yesterday. You know, see right here, nobody was hurt. A little bit going on. I was watching this. I watched this on several newscasts. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? Have these guys never been to a Texas barbecue? Do they not really know that what's really going on out there? Nobody was hurt. We're just having a good time, having a couple of beers and cooking some dogs out on the barbecue. And, you know, that people get overexcited. Somebody from up north came, took a photo, and didn't really understand what was going on out there.
Just a barbecue.
Just a barbecue. Actually, one of the propane tanks, I think, caught fire. Nobody was actually hurt. The building caught a little fire. But I'm just saying, that's kind of a barbecue incident, right? That's not really.
In Texas, everything's bigger in Texas.
You know, if it had been a car that caused it, or you know, that would be something different. But this is a barbecue scene. I'm not in Montana. A derailment. I'm not sure exactly what transpired there. I think they said a switch, but 3 were killed. You know, you don't see a lot of derailments in all the trains going on around the United States. You don't really see a lot of people. Most of the time, people have fatalities by train intersections, right? Not really because of this right here, these derailments. This is pretty crazy.
It is.
And I do know that I was reading the story and I looked at it, and they don't believe it's going to be any human error because they believe it to be mechanical. But these trains are all autonomous now. They run off of a system. They have a person in there, you know, that monitors the systems. I guess the engineer or whatever you call the guy. What do you call the guy that runs
engineer?
Conductor, I guess, or engineer.
Engineer.
Yeah, they have them in there, but the train pretty much runs autonomously down the track and switches and everything. And I think Dylan Wright, they said something about it was caused by a switch or something.
Yeah, so it wasn't actually like the train going too fast or anything like that. It was just like a switch if I were to pull the thing up again, but it was like a derailment due to they were coming up on a part of my railway.
That's okay. We
Words
don't
not
consider
exactly,
you an expert.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm not an expert here, but the part of the railway where there's 2 parts and they converge together. So it was coming up on one of those.
A switch.
That would be the switch.
It would be the switch. So it came up on the switch, and the first half of the train went fine, but the other half, I guess, just kind of took it a little hard and derailed the back 8 part of the train and not the first half of it. So
that's pretty crazy. And you know it's hard to look away from a train wreck, right?
Yes.
I mean, we see that, but those things are dangerous. You talk about momentum in place. They don't stop. So when those cars go over, you know, they're moving, and I'll tell you what, anything inside gets pinged around by a ping pong ball, and when they lay on their side, and they slide around, all of that windows and stuff that's over there becomes dangerous.
Absolutely.
Because it's the ground moving, and whatever debris flying into the cab. So it could be anything from poles to light posts. Anything can come in the cab.
Yeah, and you're laying down on that side too.
And you're laying
right?
down on that side. You're forced there.
Yeah, I've had to, unfortunate to go out on a derailment when a tornado blew 33 cars off the track, and it was just unbelievable. It just toppled them over. But the engine had back camera, and you could just see the wind come across, and then boom, 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 boom.
Wow.
So it is scary, and that was freight. You know, there was no people involved, so nobody died. But what you've got to understand is you still have to stay focused, because at the end of the day, people can die, right? And driver, whatever the reason, got out and didn't set the brake, and the truck rolled forward and hit another trailer. Well, what if there had been a person standing
Absolutely.
there, you know, working on that trailer, didn't see it, right? So at the end of the day, somebody could have died by that decision. So whatever the reason was that made you in a hurry, typically, from what I've been able to, when we really get to investigate these things, is it's just bad planning, right? We've had drivers say, well, I had to go to the bathroom, so I was in a hurry. Well, then don't wait so long, right? Plan better, right? You're driving all day. I get that some days you can't go right that minute, but very seldom are you sitting there being forced to have to not be able to go to the bathroom for an hour, where you have the opportunity to pull over or to do something to change that scenario. And so whatever the case may be, you know, that puts you in a hurry, you have to take time and resolve that situation. So we talk all the time about how one bad decision can lead to other bad decisions, and it works the opposite in good decisions. When you make one good decision, it makes another one and another one. But it's amazing how these things can follow a pattern right down a wrong road really quickly, or the right road. And that's what we see a lot, you know, like, hey, once I start to speeding, well, then it may turn into tailgate, which may turn into quick lane change, which may turn into a quick glance at the mirrors instead of a steady glance at the mirror, which leads to an accident. And it all started because I was speeding, right? And it just leads to other bad decisions. And the same thing with good ones. Hey, when I'm slowing down the chaos, when I'm making better plans, when I realize, you know, that, you know, I've got to use the restroom, or I've got to go do this, or I've got this on my mind, I need to pull over and resolve that so that I can focus on what I'm doing. That's the good decisions that can lead to other ones.
Yeah, you know, having driven for a long time, I've seen many instances where drivers forget to set the brake, for whatever reason, and you know, the truck won't. Sometimes the truck doesn't start rolling right away. You know, it'll sit there for a minute, and then you know what? It makes a decision to start rolling. And I can tell you, out of personal experience, I really don't ever feel the truck is completely stopped until I hear the hits of the brake. You know, until I release them. I just don't. I don't think the truck has ever stopped really, in an instance, in that moment, in that time. And I know it's really, you know, it's what we do. We do it 1,000 times. We get in and we get out. We get in and we get out. We do everything. We're backing in. We're locking in. We got to go to the bathroom. We go get our drink. We do everything that we can do. But in all honesty, there's a moment in which you have to stay focused on what you're doing. You can't. This is it. This is really the crux of it, and we talk about it all the time.
Preventing fatalities. We kind of led into it last week, and we want to continue this because it's about accident prevention. And what I found was just some phenomenal things here involving tractor trailers, okay? And the first thing we're going to talk about is what the Highway Association and that determine as critical events, okay? And there are three main types of critical events that were assigned to most of the fatal truck crashes.
This is absolutely the majority right here.
Yes, sir.
Number one.
Number one, running out of the travel lane violations kind of thing.
Okay.
32%. The second one, vehicle loss of control.
Okay.
And then the third one, rear end collisions. Right?
Rear end collisions.
And every one of them involves speed, right? Every one of them could involve fatigue or distraction, right? Because you lost the control for some reason. You're driving too fast for conditions. But yeah, that it was just phenomenal. 83% of all fatal crashes. You know, we talk a lot about making. I'm a big fan of the rule of three, because usually if you could take care of the three worst things, character or job or whatever the case may be, if you can focus on the three worst, you're going to improve greatly, because it usually involves the majority of the problem, right? We've seen this over and over, Drive Safe. But at the beginning of this, there's that Jersey barrier that could have made this 1 or 2 seconds different in timing, and this becomes a whole different outcome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just a bad decision in front of us, and in seconds he's gone, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's like in
Didn't
and
even
out.
bother him.
Yeah, and it's just crazy environment. It makes it dangerous for all involved. There's really very little you can do here but slow down, and the driver's gone. I mean, the other car's gone. So, just something that we see every day. These moments in time we see every day getting cut off at the last minute.
And I'm okay with, not that I'm saying hard brake, I'm saying pump the brakes here because, again, if that guy clips that barrier, he's only going to go one direction. That's into you.